Alright, the big day is finally here. The Phantom 3 has arrived. Now, truth be told, it actually came Friday night, and it's now Monday night, and I'm just getting to unboxing it. So, sorry for the delay, but a lot of things are going on here. But I'll try to make this quick so we get this information out to you guys, and you can see exactly what comes inside of here. Now, these come in the advanced or professional version, and the big difference, there are small differences, but the biggest difference is in the camera. Professional has a 4K, and the advanced has a 1080p, which is just fine for most people, but being a professional with all the recording I do in my production company, I definitely wanted a 4K camera on here. Now, if you're not familiar with the Phantom 3, what it is a Phantom 2 has been upgraded multiple times over, I would say, to include all the features of the DJI Inspire 1 except for the fold-up legs inside of the Phantom 2 body and platform on here. So it's small, easy to carry, backpack it, whatever you got to do, and of course it retains the same price as a DJI Phantom Vision instead of the $4,000 that the Inspire 1 cost. Alright, so enough yakking. Let's open this thing up and see how they package it, see what's included, all that good stuff. I'm very excited to go fly this. Now, today I can't go fly because it's so freaking windy out, but I can certainly get this set up. There's a lot of software updates you got to do and stuff like that and calibrations. We'll walk you through all of that stuff as videos progress on this channel. Of course, here's the regular user manual. That's right there on top. We'll pull it off here. Oh, there it is. What's nice on these is that they put all the stickers on there, Ray, especially these ones right here. They're always kind of hard to get on there just perfect, so it's nice to see them on there from the factory. Now, the silver bars on here, or up front here, is the advanced, and the gold is the professional version. So pull this up and out of the way for now. Let you look at it real quick. And then we'll get onto the accessories and the controller first, and then we'll go on back to the Phantom. Now, the first thing I noticed is this thing is quite a bit heavier than the other Phantom I own. So we'll start off with the accessory pack here. It's a nice little accessory pack compared to before being in clear plastic. We got our own little drawstring here. Let's check it out. Get inside of here. Now, of course, this is going to be all the blades we need. There's two sets of blades, ones that go onto the quadcopter for flying, and then a backup set. So it looks like this whole thing is all blades. And of course, these have the coloring on them to match the motors, the black and the silver like that. So I'll go over all that later in the setup video. But yeah, it includes an extra set of blades, obviously. Now let's go over to here, see what else they include. Small little box here. Seems pretty light, might be empty. Oh, this is the toolbox. We got ourselves a little tool bag here. It has the isolators in it, extra set of isolators. It has an extra set of foam pads for the landing feet. It's got the tool right here for the blades, for taking them off anyways. They self-tighten otherwise. This is for taking it off and holding the motor while I pull the blade off of there. And then there's a couple other locking pins in here, the clear plastic locking pins for the camera platform. So as usual, extra stuff in there they include with any other Phantom. And this right here should be the charger. It's quite hefty. We'll check it out inside of here. Get that out of the way. Whoa, whoa. Okay, so they do include one of those shorty cables for going to your devices that plug into the controller itself, and we'll get more into that later on. There's actual USB ports on the controller. There's a micro, and then there's a regular USB size ports on there. And here's the charger. It's a little different than the other one. A little bit different. And that's because the battery in here is a 4S battery, whereas the Phantom 2 was a 3S battery. So it has a couple different points on here we can charge. Now, what's nice about this charger is that it can charge both the Phantom battery, okay, right there like usual, and then over here it has a special port for plugging into the side of the controller also, so you can charge that. I'm pretty sure we cannot charge both of them at the same time. I'll have to verify it later on in the setup video, but I'm pretty sure they don't. But either way, hey, we got the charger, we got the adapters, and we can charge both of them because this remote has an internal battery in it instead of all those AA's, which is great for all the power it needs. And here's the other half of it for the wall plug, so we can plug it in the wall. Alright, onto the controller itself. There's a lot of features built right into this thing. You see all the controls up here, light bridges built into it, stuff like that. Has a 6,000 milliamp 2S battery pack in here also, so it has quite a bit of heft to it, even compared to the Phantom 2 Vision Plus, which also had the internal battery pack built into it. The overall build quality of this thing is absolutely awesome. This is how the controller should have been years ago. Remember, I got my Phantom 2, and the controller was basically faulty from the factory. This one's really just really high quality as far as the body, ergonomics, stuff like that. There's a lot of features they thought of when building this controller. So we'll start off down here and we'll go through all the functions on here real quick, and we'll go through them in detail in future setup videos. So right here is the power button like usual. We have our power bar down here for the internal battery packs. That's nice. Instead of a slider, it's kind of nice. And this right here, this has been a long time coming. This is a dedicated return to home button. That's absolutely awesome. Its only function is return to home. Before, it was up here, so one of these toggles, you assign it, stuff like that. So guess what? You're flying along, you freak out, you want to hit return to home, and you're trying to find which one is it, and you may do something else wrong. Now, there's nothing else around it. It's dedicated. It's always there. Oh my God. Boom. Done. Return to home. And speaking of the sticks on here, they're pretty standard, same as the other ones, okay, which were smooth and good before, so that's fine. The Phantom 2 and the Phantom 2 Vision Plus, late models, the sticks stuck down on the throttle here to help you with descent. Now it's built into the software on there for auto takeoff and landing, so they kind of got rid of that. That's a nice feature. I've never seen no use to that before anyways. Let's go up here to the mount for your iPad, your iPhone, whatever kind of phone you have that you want to monitor the video feed on. It has a lot of different features built into it, like these little arms that flick out right here. So you put an even smaller phone in here, right? Let's see. So you put a small phone between here and there, and then you can store them away and fit your regular phone here. And then check this feature out. You'll love this. Ooh, it extends way out, even further out. See that? You can fit a regular iPad Air in here too, a full-size iPad, and watch your video feed. So that's really cool. And once you lay it in there, you just kind of click it in until it clamps down on. It's nice and tight that way. So that's cool, because you definitely want to be able to see what you're flying to, and not on your small phone screen when I have a tablet. So that's nice. And then they have the two big antennas right here for light bridge, for video downlinks and all that. And then of course controlling your Phantom up to 1.2 miles away. That is so cool. We're going to be able to have that reliable video feed that far away. And over here is your regular flight mode switch like they used to have. And here's your gimbal control right here. Pretty standard. This right here is your video record and stop function for recording video. You can start and stop right there. And then over here, this is your shutter button, which is basically your photo button. Take a photo real quick while you're up there. And this right here is your playback function. And this one kind of dials through your camera functions on your app on there, so you can check stuff out on there. And the back side here, you also have two buttons here that are customizable for custom stuff. And they're kind of like right there by your fingers when you're wrapped around like that. So that's really cool. They put some extra buttons in there. Regular holder right here for it. So it's got a lot of features built right into it. I love all these pads on here to put it down and to hold it in your hand. It feels really good in your hand. If I didn't mention it already, because of the heft, it's a good idea to get the neck strap for it to help you out with those longer flights. And the longer flights are possible by the 4S battery pack that's in the quadcopter. You can go up to 23 minutes, so you might want to invest in a shoulder strap like that, neck strap. But besides that, I'm very impressed with this remote compared to other Phantoms I've ever purchased. This one, this looks incredible actually. Okay, onto the Phantom 3 itself. This thing is impressive to see in person for sure, and it's really nice that they put the decals on from the factory, just in case you're not too good at that. It's nice they're all on there nice and perfect. This thing does have a little bit more heft to it compared to the Phantom 2 Vision Plus, and that's mainly due to all the different features that are on it now, all the additional features like light bridge and stuff like that. And then back here, the battery pack is different than your Phantom 2 battery. This one is a 4S battery at a lower capacity, but it's definitely runs at the higher voltage. So this is not compatible with your Phantom 2 and vice versa on there. So we'll just flip it around here. We'll go over a couple different features on here. Now everything is upgraded on here, from the motors to the ESCs to the main board to the GPS. They can now lock onto the GLONASS satellites, which is an alternative to GPS satellites. So in case it loses the GPS, it can lock onto those. It can lock onto more satellites. So hopefully flyaways are kind of a thing of the past. We'll see. I sure hope so, because these things are quite expensive. Now the blades that go on here, same thing as the Phantom 2. They're keyed to different motors on here. You got the black ones and the silver ones, and then they're self-tightening, just like the Phantom 2, which is a great feature. No tool required to install them or to take them off. And of course, they're self-tightening, so they never fly off in flight. Up front here, I have the 4K camera. It does have a shipping tang right here, so you gotta make sure you take that off of there when you're getting this thing all set up, so you don't burn out the gimbal in here. And then there's a little cover on top of the lens on here. What I did notice so far is there's no cover for the lens, like a plastic lens cover, which is interesting compared to the Phantom 2 Vision Plus. It has its own USB port on the side here for the gimbal control, so you can update it and stuff like that. And the USB port for the Phantom still in the same spot right here on the front. Okay, you have your SD card slots and all that right here on the side for the camera, and your interfaces on there. And then we'll go back here and we'll flip it up, so you can see the vision positioning system. And what this uses is a couple different ultrasonic sensors, so it can tell how far it is from the ground and kind of position you and stabilize the quadcopter while you're indoors and you don't have that GPS reception to stabilize. So I'll be very interested to try that out in my garage. My garage is decent size, and it definitely gets no GPS signal in here, so it'll be cool to try that out and see how stable it is. That was a really cool feature on the DJI Inspire 1 that I liked a lot. And of course your lights on here, the lights on here I noticed they're quite a bit smaller, so it probably has higher intensity LEDs in them. And I'm wondering if the arms on here are even shorter also. It seems something's definitely different on here, but I'll have to check that out. But the lights on here definitely look smaller, so they're probably a higher intensity LED, and they don't need that full length on there. And this right here also is another locking shipping tang, so you got to take that out before flight. Just all kinds of things to lock in the gimbal on there. We'll pull this off of here. Okay. And because I'm going to power this up and get it set up soon here, we're going to pull off this locking tang on here also. It's going to lock on there pretty good. There we go. And you can see why it does have a locking tang on, because this thing just flops around. Now this is a 3-axis camera on here. So it has 3-axis stabilization. And like I said, mine's 4K. And it actually has a Sony sensor in here for the lens on there. So the lens should be, and the lens and the video quality should be really high quality. I actually have a Sony 4K camera, home video camera. It's very high quality compared to the Canons and stuff like that. So it's nice to see they can put these Sony electronics inside of here for the camera sensor. So there is a lot of setup to do with these as far as software updates. You want to do a compass calibration first, all kinds of stuff like that. Make sure you put your blades on the right spots, and we'll go through all of that in the setup videos. But I just wanted to get this out so you guys can see what comes in the box exactly and what the different features are compared to the older Phantoms. And I'm really impressed with the quality of this Phantom 3, so I hope it comes out when I'm actually, flying it, and it holds true that it's just a high quality piece of machinery, especially for the price. This thing's ultra cheap for all the features that are on board. So now the Phantom 3 can do a lot more than what the DJI Flight app allows. What they're relying on is the software development kit and third-party developers to make apps for it. And the other options, the different functions it can do, is a ground station. That's cool to have waypoints in the ground station. You can have a point of interest set up on there where it constantly fixates on, let's say, a statue. No matter what the winds are or your controls are, the front end will always be facing and filming that point of interest focused on there. And the coolest function is the Follow Me app. So let's say you're riding a bike or running down a path. The Phantom will follow behind you like a puppy dog autonomously and record you. Isn't that cool? That's so cool. So I can't wait for all those cool apps to come out from third-party developers. In the meantime, get it, set it up, software update it, and get it calibrated, and get used to it, and then you can go on to those more advanced functions. So hopefully you enjoyed the unboxing video of the Phantom 3. In the future, there'll be a lot of setup videos for the installing propellers correctly, to the software updates, IMU calibrations, compass calibrations, all the things you need to do before you really take off on your first flight with this thing. And we're also going to test all the different cool functions like the YouTube live streaming, all that kind of stuff on there, and we're going to see how well it actually works. In the conference, they promised the world. Well, we're going to see just if they actually deliver on that promise or not.